Crumble Talk.
Hi.
Yes. Today we're talking about
BFFs.
Woo. Yes. Yup.
So,
BFF.
first of all, let's start with a game.
Yes.
I brought a game today that I made up. And it's called Accents, I guess, for now. I guess we'll call it that.
Accents.
So we have this scripture to read that Steffi has so kindly written out for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have these accents that a lot of them were provided to us from Doris Baez. So thank you for that, Doris. So now, let's each choose an accent.
Okay. You go first.
Me go first.
Yes.
Okay.
I need to understand. I think I get it, but.
Okay, so my accent is Fran from Friends.
Okay.
Chandler Bing.
Oh, man.
Okay, so for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight.
Oh my god.
Now your turn.
Oh, so it's one verse. Okay, cool. I thought you were gonna go through the whole thing.
No,
I was like, wow.
now you read the next verse. You read the next verse with your accent.
I have preppy customer service.
Yes.
Yes. So preppy customer service. Hold on, Macy's. For receiving imprudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair.
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
All right, let me see what else.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
The teacher I think is going to sound very similar to that. Okay. Now class, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young.
All right. Let's see. Why did I get this? Angry New Yorker. All right, I'm sorry, my friends. I know I have friends that watch from New York. Oh my god. Let's see. Yo, let the wise listen and add to their learning. And let the discerning get guidance. I'm sweating bricks in here. I'm just kidding. I'm so bad with accents. I have to admit.
That was good. That was good. Yeah.
That's how Angry New Yorker sounds. Hey, yo.
Angry New Yorker. Hey, watch! I'm walking over here.
But that's more like Jersey.
That's or Boston. Yeah, the songs like in the car.
Yes.
Stuff. I don't know.
Yes.
All right. So that was the game.
Right. That game was good.
For today's fun fact, we want to give y'all a shout out as our followers.
Yes.
We have some amazing people who always come to us and tell us that they have been listening, and we just love to get that feedback. Pastor Jamie, who let us in here to the Nations Ministry Center, he has been watching, so shout out to him.
Yes.
Shout out to Jordan, who let us in, and
today.
And other days too. Jackie, who set up the audio for us. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing.
Yes.
You have people to give shout outs to?
I definitely want to give a general shout out to everyone who watches in that we don't even know, because there are people who are just not telling us they're watching, but then I see them and they're like, oh, I kind of saw a little bit. But thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and you guys are my friend. And I do want to give a shout out to family and friends, especially my sisters, all of them. Oh my gosh, they're so awesome for watching and giving me all of the critiques on what I need to fix. Thank you. I'm trying to think of that's
yeah. So I
wanted to give a general one, because I know if I start mentioning names, it's going to be a lot of names.
There's a lot of names. There's a lot of people to be thankful for.
So
one of them is Nikisha, who is now editing our videos. So thank you so much, Nikisha. I'm wearing the bracelet that you gave me that says I am worthy, and she wrote a whole prophetic poem with it. It was so awesome.
That is beautiful. Thank you.
Another shout out I want to give to, speaking of the whole BFF thing, one of my best friends is Alejandro, and his wife, we surprised her yesterday for her birthday.
Yeah.
So she watches us, and we're helping her with her English. And now she's one of my closest friends too, because, you know, they're one flesh now.
Yes.
So
good.
Shout out to Tiana.
Yes.
So we don't specifically use the term BFF. That's why I said Alejandro was one of my best friends, because a lot of reasons.
Yes, there is a lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons that we're going to be talking about today. But for me specifically, I have so many amazing people in my life. Steffi being one of them. You know, Nakisha, Jordan, like all these people. So I dare not specify that one person is the best out of all of them. So that's how it is for me. I have had best friends in my life before. You know, I had someone growing up that we were just like next to each other, and she was like, hey, you want to be my best friend? And I was like, okay. So then we just became best friends.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's how it happened with Alejandro too. He was like, I'll be your best friend. I was like, okay.
I think that's what has happened for me too. I think I have to agree with that. Like I do find myself using that word when I want someone who is a stranger to kind of understand a little bit of like, okay, this is like a good friend. So like, you know, but lately I've just been saying, oh, this is my really good friend, instead of using the BFF word. Seriously,
I always say one of my best friends.
One of my best friends, or
one of my best friends.
Because it's I think it guards everyone's heart too, so nobody feels like, oh, but I thought it was your best friend. What happened?
Guarded from offense.
Guarded from offense. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I wanted to share the verse that a Bible verse with this one, which is a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversities. And I think we were mentioning how you know, it's okay to have like, okay, so like, how do I explain this? I'm trying to find like the right words, but it's like that friends, fine, I'll say how I wrote it. Not everyone needs to be your BFF, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to have friends that are like indifferent things. Like I'll call one friend when I'm really depressed, but I'm not going to call like my coffee friend that all we do is have coffee and go to new places.
There's different circles. Like there's the inner circle, and then there's a little bit outer, and then there's the outer. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to be careful with that too, because some people get in the habit of like oversharing, and then they're like, oh, why is all this happening? And it's like, well, you shared stuff outside of your inner circle.
Exactly.
You know, and that's why it's kind of leaking everywhere now.
Yeah. I wanted to share
that. In saying that, you know, with the whole like not using the BFF term, I see that it definitely does happen, because I see, for example, Nikki and Stephanie, who are BFF, and they shared with us. Let me share over here. We asked them some questions, right? So Nikki says that she thinks it's the trust that is invested and built, the mutual loyalty and the dedication to one another. The dedication to one another to see each other win. Listening well, apologizing well, empathizing well. One of the biggest things with her and I is critical listening. We listen to the details and respond to the details, not just waiting for the other person to finish their sentence so we can start one. Yeah, so
I love to hear how they said we like to see each other win. I think that's so important, and like a good friendship, you know, and it's like, we need to stop trying to compete. It's not a competition. Like, what your blessing is your blessing, and I should be happy when it's your turn. Yeah, as much as celebrate when it's my turn. You know.
Yes, love does not envy, and love is part of this whole friendship thing. Yeah. So we also heard from Rose. Rose from New York. Shout out to her. She's awesome. So she said, "What makes Kim my best friend? It will probably have to be the fact that we both hate the same people." And she said, kidding. Kim has been in my life for more than 2 decades, and I seriously could not have asked for a better bestie. She has been with me through the good, the bad, and the ugly. She doesn't judge me, yet she calls me out when it's necessary. That's important.
Oof, yeah.
That whole iron, right?
That goes into that. I don't know if you want to, should we go into that now?
Interject a little with that.
I know. I know that, like, one of my favorite verses, that as iron sharpens iron, so a person sharpens another. Yeah. And that one was just It's basically what she said. It's so good because, like,
it's accountability.
And then it's accountability, but it's also like sometimes we'll be with our friend and we're like, oh wow, like she's making me feel uncomfortable, or oh, why do I feel like this right now? And or oh my god, the new terms, like, because I have a 10-year-old, so oh, I feel that's cringe, get away. It's like, no, we shouldn't be so quick to cut people out. Iron sharpens iron. That's not always gonna feel good, but a good friend will, do that. It will happen. It's not always gonna feel like roses and daisies.
Challenge you and help you grow. Yeah.
Yes.
So she said, our personalities may sometimes seem opposite on the surface, but we're similar in so many ways. With Kim, I'm free to not know the lyrics to songs and blurt out the wrong words. She rolls her eyes at me all the time, which I do that all the time too. Like, if you're my friend, I'm going to write my own song to whatever it is. One time, our friendship almost went sour. As I write this, tears form in my eyes because if it weren't for us maintaining an open line of communication, more on her part, during conflict, we would have never grown closer together. Honestly, didn't even know that was possible. And somewhere along the line, we became sisters. In a nutshell, we just get each other. Yeah. So that whole sister thing, there's that other verse that you have.
The other one too? Ooh. Yeah, I feel like their story, I'm telling you, everything all kind of like goes around. But the other verse is one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruins. But there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Yeah. And that's so important. I mean, I feel like I have two stories I can share with that because when I got pregnant and was going through all these things, and there was all of the people that I thought were my best friends, my people, like, oh, my family, I felt like they weren't on my side, like they weren't there to back me up. So I left that city and I was just came to Orlando. Obviously I have my family, thank God for my family, but I do have to give thanks to God for my best friend Philip. And if you know him, you know why I mean it. He's a loyal friend, and he was there for me through all of that when everybody left me, know. So he was the one friend that stuck, and really lived out this verse. Yeah.
And I've had that happen to me too, where someone actually received counsel from someone else to stop hanging out with me, and in the time that I most needed friends. Yeah. So because when you're not making, she said it was because I wasn't making good choices in my life, from what she could see or whatever, what she was interpreting. But like, if I were to have not been making good choices, that's when you most need a friend. Yes. That's when you need someone to spend time with that is good company. Instead, like, she left me, and so all I had was bad company to spend time with. And that's when I had to make the choice, okay, this is actually not the path that God has for me, and I need to stop spending my time with these, and I need to trust God to bring the right friends into my life. And He has.
Same. I understand that. Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because and that goes to the, like, if we want to blatantly mention the taboo part of friendship in church, is that we have these, I know I call it prophetoises. You had another name? Propheliers. Okay, that's a little more clear on what I'm trying to say. Good job. Propheliers that are just like, telling you, oh, well, God is telling me that you need to not speak to this person. It's like, come on, really? Like, is He really? And then, and it's like having discernment, because like, sometimes, okay, yeah, you may want to draw away from that person because they're making bad choices, but what if you were the one voice that could have stopped them, or that could have helped them from doing anything? Like, I feel like there's so much more serious things happening than you sitting down next to the person that's making wrong choices. Yeah.
Yeah. Be strong in yourself, and draw your love tank from God. That way you have something to give to your friend. If that's the case. So she goes on. how they have maintained their friendship long term for 2 decades already. Wow.
Wow.
So she said we have established.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations. She said we have established boundaries and have mutual respect for one another. The older we get, the more crazy life gets. I don't speak to my bestie every day. Space is super important these days, but when we do talk, it's like time never went by.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, because like when you connect again with someone who's like your best friend,
yes,
it's like if nothing ever.
Yeah,
like
it's always like that. It's been like that for me, and especially because one of my best friends. Well, actually, I can't even see. You can't say one of your best friends.
Yeah.
My closest girls, I like some of them are in Dominican Republic. So we don't get to see each other all the time and all that. But when we do, and we don't talk every day either because we all have such busy lives. But when we do talk, it's more like a, what happened? Oh my God, you need to know. Like, it's so cool. So yeah, I completely understand them when they say that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the beginning, I mentioned something that is a little bit of a taboo topic.
Yes.
In the Christian community, which is having a male friend. I mentioned having Alejandro as one of my best friends, and now his wife is one of
Philip is my best friend.
Exactly. So we have both mentioned that. We know that some people feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
But we feel like it's something that can be done when it's done properly.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to have the right boundaries in place, clear boundaries in that.
But even like I know you're mentioning clear boundaries. I think for me and Philip, for sure, the clear boundaries happen if he's like once he has the relationship. Like right now he's single, but so we just talk like best friends, cool. Yeah. But when he has a girlfriend, we're more intentional. We're like, okay, I'm not calling him. Yeah, I'm intentionally not gonna call him at 8:00. And I know I say 8:00 being dramatic. If something is happening, because he cares about Joseph, he's Joseph's godfather, so I will call him if there's like an emergency, and that. So just having that respect and being able to show her that this is not that.
Yeah.
I will say that even in conversation, because I brought it up to him and I was like, that's what happens when you have a best friend. You can talk about anything, but it's like I was like, yeah, why are we not together? And then we started cracking up. We were just laughing because we're like, ew, what do you mean? But then when we talked about it, it's like it's not worth it in a sense. Almost like we've been such good friends for so many years, never crossed that line. What is it? The bed zone? Never went into the bed zone. We ain't not doing that, okay? And we've been friends for so long that it is just not worth it.
One thing that you do not want to do as a female, I mean as a male, I guess.
Guys
is
too.
Go into the bed zone with your opposite gender friend, because I got a video sent to me that the bed zone is like the girl's friend zone. Like once you get into the bed zone, the guy is gonna see you in a different way, and this is scientific.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, and she studied psychology. That was her major, so she knows that like for a fact, all the facts behind it, right?
I agree with that. I think I'm not a man, so I can't think of a man. Maybe we should bring a man for that topic too. But I can say that based on my experience and what I've seen is that once you do enter the bed zone with someone who's supposed to be a good friend, things change.
Yeah.
We can all agree to that. Things change. It does get a little, like oh we're friends, but like okay, I don't know, it just changes. So going back to sharing about the friendship with Flip, I know that's something that we've never crossed, and so the intention in being intentional about boundaries. If one of us is in a relationship and things like that, just showing that. I think that things like that have kept our friendship going. But we don't talk every day either. Okay. So it's
which was the female friendships that I am getting now, amazing females, and so now that is that's such a valuable thing in my life now.
Yes. I always like to share the story of my friend the first church I started going to, and her name was Vero. Okay, and she was so awesome because I love that friendship because we would study the Bible. I'm not talking about we read a verse today, it was nice. No, it was more of a we would read books, and we were just like, and that really like held our our friendship. It made our friendship really strong, and it was really cool. I know I think something I didn't appreciate was that it was kind of shunned. Like, it was almost like, oh, like we're a little too much. We have to calm down. That's what we were told.
Yeah, that's what happened with me and one of my best friends early on. Like, everyone was always like, telling us exactly that.
Right. And it's like, I wish we would have been, I think now if that would happen, we'd be like, oh, whatever. But like then we were just so young in the faith that we were just like, oh, maybe we are doing too much. And yeah, but I mean, I think now we're you know, of course we went our separate ways in a sense, but I feel like if I ever sit with her again, like, it's good conversations, you know.
For us, it would just be because we were laughing too much all the time at everything.
Oh, probably.
Her grandma would tell us that we were gonna die from laughing.
From laughing? Much. Oh my god, that's funny, but that's good.
Te vas a morir.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was actually pretty hilarious.
Yes. I know I wanted to share like something that happened this past week. I was so stressed out. I don't remember why. There was a lot going on in my house, and I was very stressed, and I posted something, and you know how social media is like fake, like you're not really social, people are not really your friends, and it's all like, and even the friends that you think are your friends, they're not even like reading what you're posting to see that you're actually in trouble. So I did post something that immediately a very good friend of mine, his name is Javon, he ended up calling me on the phone, and well, first he messaged and he was just like, you okay? And I'm like, I just have anxiety. I was like, I'm going through this. And then so he ended up calling, and that meant so much to me. Because I'm like, you know, this is not a friend that we talk every day, you know, this is not, he does his thing, I do my thing. Like, when we do come together, we are good friends. We've always we've met when we were like 18, so pretty long friend. But that meant a lot. It really did help me, like, kind of like I don't know how do you call that, I don't know, it gave me a jolt to my life again. I'm like, okay, yeah, I do got this. I am gonna be okay. You know, like, just yeah, that's how I felt. So thank you.
Aw, that's awesome.
I know.
So speaking of same gender friendships, I know, like, opposite gender, that's awesome.
Right.
Same gender, and David and Jonathan. And a lot of people try to misconstrue this in the Bible because they were so close and they loved each other so much, and they try to misconstrue it into something else. But it was a godly friendship that they had, like brothers, you know?
Yeah.
So, and there's a verse that says, who is the best friend of all? Jesus.
Yes.
That's my teacher side again coming out.
Yep. I see it.
So there's a verse that says there's a friend who, no, I'm repeating your verse. No greater love than this, that he lays down his life for his friends. And that's exactly what Jonathan did for David, because Jonathan's dad wanted to kill David, but he was always watching out for David.
Yes.
And telling him, hey, my dad is on his way over there, you know, make sure you protect yourself. Which is crazy because Jonathan was supposed to be in line for the throne. He was in line for the throne. He was supposed to get the crown next. But he believed that David was it. And so he was giving his entire kingdom up for David, which is what Jesus did for us to save our lives.
Yeah, no, I love that friendship. That friendship was really cool. I know that me and my friend Vero that I mentioned, we used to always be like, that's us. We're that, you know, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, you know. We were very young, so definitely now I know I think
that's so cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
To that story, I like. You said something about that verse. Who laying down? Sorry, say it again.
There's no greater love than this, than he who lays his life down for his friends.
Yes, lays his life down for his friend. I always like to emphasize that. You know, it's very. I don't know who was saying it, or if it was Jesus or not, but I don't take it as like, okay, you're gonna lay down your life and die for me right now. No, it's just even the fact, like, for example, how I was saying Javon, how he called me. He did have to, like, stop what he was doing. You know, he stopped his life. He took a moment of his day to check on me, and that meant a lot. So and especially coming from someone who isn't necessarily in my life, so they don't know what's going on like every day. Because on social media, I post what I want you to see. I of course I look like the happy single mom that has it all together. Not. Okay. All right, so
that's it for this episode of Crumble Talk. What are your comments? We want to hear from you.
Yes.
So go ahead and comment on our
tag your best friend.
YouTube.
I don't know. Share with us your story. Maybe
if you have a best friend.
And if you don't,
it's one of your best friends.
Maybe it's all of them. Just tag them all. I'm gonna have to do that in this one.
Share.
Tag all my friends in there.
Yes. Do that. And we're gonna be back next week with our next episode. Say final.
It's not final yet.
We are going to be talking about beauty.
Yes.
Bringing beauty into this world. Can we do that? And we're going to have a special guest with us.
Yes, that's going to be fun.
Tune in next week to see what that's about. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.